Here's your wrestling news for September 25th, 2025. Your headlines for today include: shocking, AEW fan arrested after victims discovered trapped in basement. Kevin Nash gives health update after heart procedure. Tony Khan and Renee Paquette introduces women's tag team titles on AEW Dynamite. ESPN's Andreas Hale fires back after fans explode over his WrestlePalooza grade. Darby Allin issues WrestleDream challenge in fiery AEW appearance. AEW World Champ Hangman Page overcomes reigning ROH Pure Champ. Kris Statlander retains AEW Women's title, gives answer to Death Riders. Tiffany Stratton clears the air on injury ahead of title match. AEW star medically suspended after all-out Tailgate Brawl, and more. We have some unfortunate news as a deeply disturbing story from South Carolina has been brought to people's attention this week, revealing an unexpected connection to professional wrestling. Donnie Ray Birchfield Jr., who is the son of a pastor, has been arrested in Lancaster, South Carolina after the police discovered a horrifying situation within his home. Authorities responded to an unattended death at the property, with 3 more individuals being found in the basement, some of whom had been held there for nearly a decade. A 23-minute video report published by the Law and Crime Network detailed all the allegations and showed Birchfield attending numerous wrestling events. Some of those images happened to be at AEW shows during the pandemic, including photos standing next to Tony Khan and Luchasaurus. Elsewhere, he was seen at a convention with One Man Gang, although there is no known connection to any promotion beyond being a fan. The thumbnail of the viral video unfortunately features Birchfield in an AEW hoodie, which has drawn negative attention to professional wrestling. He faces 16 criminal charges, including false imprisonment, domestic violence, financial fraud, and the exploitation of vulnerable adults. Tiffany Stratton is currently going through WWE's concussion protocol after taking a nasty fall during her match on SmackDown last week. The incident sparked immediate concern among fans who feared the women's champion had suffered a serious injury, but Stratton has now provided clarity on her condition. Speaking to Going Ringside, Stratton reassured everyone that she's feeling fine and that the medical evaluation was more of a precaution than a sign of serious damage. Physically, I'm okay. Obviously, it was a bit of a rough landing. However, I was fine. I think it was more precautionary, just monitoring and seeing if anything was wrong after the fall, but for the most part, I'm doing good. I'm great. The fall in question came when Stratton climbed to the top rope for a trademark moonsault, but she completely overshot her target. Instead of connecting with Jade Cargill, she crashed hard to the floor, hitting her head in the process. The scary moment had many questioning her status heading into SmackDown this week. Thankfully, Stratton has confirmed she's cleared to compete and will go on to defend her WWE Women's Championship in a high-stakes triple threat match against Jade Cargill and Nia Jax on Friday night. With momentum on the line and questions about her durability still lingering, the spotlight will be firmly on Stratton as she steps back into the ring. Elsewhere, the ESPN review of WrestlePalooza has been a major talking point lately, following its C-grade ranking. However, the writer behind it, Andreas Hale, has dealt with backlash ever since, and he responded by speaking to Off the Ropes. "Look, I gave it a C, and it deserved a C. Monday morning, my mentions were on fire. We know how wrestling fans can be, how the tribalism works. I didn't expect that kind of reaction based on an average grade. I didn't give it an F. What are we doing here? Can we not be honest about the show?" Hale admitted that he had been surprised by how many people were outraged that someone from ESPN would be critical of the show, given that it aired on their network. The most surprising part, a lot of people were shocked that ESPN would grade a show on their own network as average, bad, or say shit on it. Some even called for my job. Others said I was tweeting about AEW earlier in the day and called me a shill. Of course, the AEW allegations hold no value, and they have frustrated Hale as a writer. "I've loved pro wrestling since I was 3. I watch everything. All Out, NXT, TNA. People who know me know that. But those who don't assume I'm on one side or Tony Khan's side. That surprised me, that people were shocked someone from ESPN gave it an average grade." He pointed out that the rating has nothing to do with the views that the show gained in the moment, but he's more concerned about the situation from a journalistic perspective. "So the show's over, people have watched it, and my rating means nothing now. They got their views, it changes nothing. The bigger issue is that if we can't be honest about how the show really is, then my journalistic credibility is at risk." Hale pointed out that he reviews boxing and UFC cards in the same manner, noting that if everything were given an A, then it would be pointless. It's clear that he's not around to sugarcoat his reviews just because WWE now airs premium live events on ESPN. If an event is poor and forgettable, then he's gonna say it, regardless of if people agree. Do you agree with Andreas Hale's grade for WrestlePalooza? Please share your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. In other news, Kevin Nash is out of his latest heart procedure, and he's wasted no time in cracking jokes and entertaining fans. The WWE Hall of Famer recently revealed to fans that he was dealing with an irregular heartbeat and had been scheduled for a cardiovascular procedure to get it all under control. Now he's updated people on social media in a manner that only Nash knows how, with some dark humor to ensure fans know that he's okay. Procedure went fantastic. Penis reduction was a success. Actually, the strain of no longer pushing blood in the entire hog brought my heart rhythm back to normal, thanks to everyone concerned about my well-being. Despite the humor, Nash's medical update is obviously not a joke, as he revealed on Click This that doctors found 3% scar tissue on the back of his heart, which suggested he might have suffered a heart attack in the past without realizing it. Given his family history, the news came as a shock to him, but with the operation now behind him and successful, he's staying positive and poking fun at the situation, which is good to see from a fan perspective. AEW Dynamite news now, as Tony Khan delivered a major announcement this week, showing that AEW isn't backing down in its battle against WWE by introducing the Women's Tag Team Championship. Khan revealed that AEW would be introducing the titles this year, and a full tournament to crown the inaugural champions will be announced soon. Renee Paquette then took over in the arena to showcase the brand new belts on a podium, revealing a design that stays true to the visual style of AEW while giving the women something fresh to compete for. AEW has a brilliant division with the likes of Kris Statlander, Willow Nightingale, and the Triangle of Madness gaining momentum lately. Now there's a reason for all these alliances and rivalries to mean something moving forward. Don Callis attempted to unveil his latest family painting this week, only for Orange Cassidy to return and break it as Hologram and Mark Briscoe joined him to face the Don Callis family. After the match, Kyle Fletcher interrupted the celebrations to put his TNT title on the line against Hologram to threaten his perfect winning run. Meanwhile, it was good to see Cassidy back on television, as his unique energy and gimmick is something that nobody else can deliver. Cassidy looked good in this first outing, and the six-man tag was put together at lightning speed throughout, as the conglomeration sold perfectly to make their opponents look good. Hologram kept his winning streak alive, and that allowed a smart setup for him and Fletcher next week. It feels like a quiet setup for the arrival of the clone, though, who will more than likely cost Hologram that title match. Elsewhere, Adam Page put his World Championship on the line against Lee Moriarty in what proved to be a dangerous situation, as the Cowboy was fighting with an injury as his neck was taped up after his battle against Fletcher, which Moriarty targeted. However, despite not being 100%, Page managed to get the win with a deadeye, retaining the title in another showcase match for him. Moriarty proved that he could counter anything that Hangman threw at him, and he managed to sustain a lot of the offense to showcase his own qualities. The impressive performance should lead to more opportunities for Moriarty moving forward, especially on AEW, as he typically only works on ROH. Moriarty has the opportunity to further elevate his image by participating in more pure rules matches on Dynamite and Collision, which should lead to an increase in his credibility. There was no clear future contender for the Cowboy set up in this show, though. However, if he continues the open challenge idea, there will be an opportunity for more young talent to develop. The AEW Women's World Championship was also on the line as Kris Statlander defended her gold against Mina Shirakawa in a competitive singles encounter. Shirakawa wore down Statlander with a figure 4 leg lock, which almost made her submit, but the champion reversed that into a seatbelt pin for the victory. After the match, the Death Riders made their presence known, with Jon Moxley being the last to arrive as he was pleased with what he saw, until Statlander laid out Wheeler Yuta with a clothesline. She and Harley Cameron ran out into the crowd as the champion flipped the group the double birds, only for Darby Allin to then pop up with a flamethrower, which sent the entire group running away. He challenged Moxley to an I Quit match, which has the potential to be huge given the extreme lengths both men are willing to push their bodies. Meanwhile, it's great to see the Women's World Tag Team Championships in AEW, as the women have established a strong set of teams, which was clear to see in this moment. It would have been beneficial for the announcement to showcase the division more effectively with a tournament setup, but that will likely come soon. It's hard to say who will win them first, though Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa would be the favorites if the Timeless One is to return soon. The main event itself was fun, although it felt like they could have benefited from an extra 5 minutes to really sell the drama and have fans buy into a potential title change even more. The aftermath more than made up for that, though, as Statlander further solidified her status as the top babyface in the entire women's division by turning down the Death Riders once and for all. The slow build of that storyline made it feel like anything could happen, and it's still likely that some women will join the group in the future, although this wasn't the right night. Allin standing tall was another great spot, and it set up a must-see match for WrestleDream, which promises to be brutal and violent in its nature. How did you find AEW Dynamite this week? Let us know in the comments section. We're ending with AEW injury news as Katsuyori Shibata is now officially off the AEW roster, for now at least, after he suffered injuries against Daniel Garcia at their all-out Tailgate Brawl. Tony Khan shared a video on AEW's social media revealing that Shibata isn't cleared for in-ring action following the brutal piledriver and curb stomp that Garcia delivered to him. Garcia won the match, but it was the aftermath that left Shibata's future on the line, as Khan confirmed that AEW's medical team stepped in and suspended Shibata from in-ring competition until he passes the necessary health exams. The news is obviously disappointing for AEW fans, but the company is prioritizing his health and long-term safety, which is a positive step. Although his removal may shake up future plans that Khan had in mind.